Hey everybody, it's Comic Crack, and continuing in my making a million videos in 1 month, here we have another video. Before we start, it's Friday when I'm recording this, and the second week of the Stamp Club is still going. We're waiting for 2 more videos, and then we'll have the second week complete. It's looking great so far. If anybody is following along, make sure that you check out people's videos. To have a breakdown of who was presenting this week, just check out my video, Stamp Club Week 2. Also in that video description box, there will be links, or there is links to Week 1's stamps and where to download those, as well as links to everybody's page who is presenting this week. So make sure you follow along with that if you are into it, and remember to message me. I've heard from a few people that are interested in being a part of a second volume. So just remember to send me a message, even in the comments box of any of those videos, whatever you like. Just send me a message to let me know you're interested, and I'll of course do videos throughout the year, or as we get closer to, like I was saying before, probably November is when we'll do the second volume. So if you missed out on this one and you want to participate in the next one, by all means, send me a message. A little bit of a random act of kindness video again today, and a special thing as well, which we'll talk about in a bit. I'm not nervous. I guess I'm a little bit nervous about it. I don't know. We'll see. I'll get into that in a minute. So our good friend Johnny Zero, I'll just hold up this set because there's no addresses on it, sent me another package of books, which is incredibly nice of him. I'm hopefully going to Toronto for some work training in May. So far, the dates are kind of 2 weeks early May. They so far correspond with the Toronto Comic Arts Festival, which is really exciting to me. Johnny Zero was the one that said, hey, when are you here? Because this TCAF is going on in this week, and he kind of gave me the dates, and I checked out the site. And there's going to be some great guys there, like Chester Brown is going to be there, Brian K. Vaughan is going to be there, the amazing Sean Phillips from all the Brubaker comics, a list of other names. I have a kind of list going. There's actually a lot of people, and as I was, even names that I didn't recognize, when I kind of looked into them, a lot of them were involved in projects that I'm aware of. For example, I'm a fan of the electronic musician Flying Lotus, and the guy who did the artwork on his latest album is going to be there because he does comics and artwork for various formats. He's going to be there. So, and it sounds like it's a real kind of a little more casual event as opposed to a convention. It's free to get in on Friday and Saturday. Johnny Zero was telling me that, it's not a place that's like where you go back issue hunting or anything. You go to specifically meet artists and you can buy their work, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of like kind of zine type materials and things too. The comic shop, The Beguiling in Toronto, is the one that puts it on. I'd heard about it in the past, but I've never been a part of it. When I did live in Ontario, at that time I was reading comics, and I had a pull list at a shop in Kitchener-Waterloo, which is where we lived, but I wasn't hardcore into back issue hunting and that sort of thing. I was really into music at that time, so a lot of my hobby was spent buying albums and CDs and stuff. I was getting into jazz and stuff like that. So I did a lot of record hunting when I went to Toronto. I think I was in The Beguiling once, possibly, but again, I mean, I don't even know if I bought anything. It might have just been, hey, why don't I go in and have a look? I'm not sure if I picked anything up. I don't really have that much of a memory of the place. But apparently that's the place to go to, especially when you're looking for kind of undergrounds and stuff that's not as much mainstream. I'm sure they do have mainstream stuff there as well. Sorry, just checking to make sure the mic is going. So I'm excited to hopefully, again, the whole trip isn't 100% yet. It's still being discussed. I just found out yesterday that I went to a couple of organizations to see if I could get funding for the trip, and that's all fallen into place, which is fantastic. But nothing is set in stone. I'm hoping that I can go, though. I'm hoping that it all works out. It would be great to not only just be back in Toronto and visit, but check out some of these things, and especially check out that festival and probably meet Johnny Zero. And I've contacted Cami as well, and hopefully, because there's a number of people that live out Ontario way that hopefully I can hook up with if everybody's schedule works out. So I've already cracked this open and had a look, but let's have a look together. So again, I mean, I don't know what to say about Johnny that I haven't said before. He's a great guy, and his knowledge of Vertigo and First Comics and kind of indie publishers and the amount of things that he's read. He continually posts about stuff that I'm just not aware of. Or if I am aware of, I've seen but not read, that sort of thing. So it's great to get a surprise package of stuff, because there's some stuff in here that I'm really excited about. We'll just go through them as they were packed. So from Vertigo, from September 1998, this is issue number 1 of Dr. 13, which I don't know anything about. Matt Howarth and Michael Avon Oming on this one here. Sorry. Message. Sorry, work stuff there. And then one that I'm really, really excited about, or two that I'm really, really excited about. I heard about these in someone's video. I think it might have been late last year. I'm a huge Brendan McCarthy fan. I recently read the Spider-Man and Doctor Strange Fever miniseries, which I would highly recommend. It's an incredible story. It's nice and weird. McCarthy does the writing, he does the art. As I've said before, McCarthy had a hand in Mad Max Fury Road. Apparently he's got something new coming out too. I just saw on Twitter yesterday. The name of it escapes me right at the moment. I can't really remember it, but this is something that he did with Peter Milligan, although maybe it's number 2. I don't know. Anyway, it's called Paradox, and it's from Vortex. Is that what it's called? Vortex? Yeah, Vortex Comics, which is the company that put out Chester Brown's Yummy Fur, and also put out some Ted McKeever stuff as well. So Paradox issue number 1 and Paradox issue number 2. I'm not sure how many issues this was. Hopefully you're seeing that. Really excited about this. It's supposed to be an amazing book, and I haven't been able to find it here. DC Vertigo, Jamie Delano and Al Davison, and this is called Tainted, issue number 1 from 1995. Another one that I'm not aware of, but Vertigo is always a good gamble. This, I think I have 1 or 2 issues of this. This is The Last American, issue number 1 and number 2 and number 3 and number 4. And then another Vortex Comics, Those Annoying Post Brothers. The name sounds familiar, but I can't say that I've seen this either. I don't see many Vortex Comics here in Winnipeg, so it's cool to get those first comics with a pretty amazing cover. I think I like this cover quite a bit. Mars is what this one's called. It looks pretty awesome. City of Silence, Warren Ellis, Gary Erskine, Disraeli, and Laura Dupuis. This is City of Silence number 1 from May of something. Doesn't have a year, but there you go. Pretty cool cover. Back cover. And then another Vertigo, this time from 1993, 1 of 6. J.M. DeMatteis and Dan Sweetman. The last one, number 1 of 6. Super cool. I'm excited to see this. I recently saw the entire run, but it was too expensive. I thought he was asking a ridiculous price. So this looks like it's issues number 2 to 5, I'm assuming. It looks like 2 to 5. And this is Vermilion. I read the first issue and I really like it quite a bit. So he bundled up those for me. This one looks really great as well. Retrofit and Big Planet Comics, possibly. It says on the back. Yeah, published by Retrofit Comics and Big Planet Comics, 2014. Antoine Cose. And it's called Herald. And it looks pretty great. I really like the look of it, especially it kind of starts out with some really amazing black and white textless intro until it finally gets into the story itself and some dialogue. It looks amazing. I really like the looks of this one quite a bit. And I have experience with some Retrofit comics. So there we go. Beautifully made as well. A little kind of deluxe edition with, again, incredible art. 7 miles a second. David Wojnarowicz and James Romberger. Sorry if I'm butchering everybody's names. Vertigo Verite. "7 Miles a Second" is the tale of controversial artist and writer. From a childhood of prostitution and drugs on the streets of Manhattan to an adulthood as a person with AIDS whose fire to live compels him to rage against a complacent world. Cool. It's great. I really like the art as well. Looks pretty awesome. There's another sample in there too. Looks fantastic. Another one that I have a few issues of, but I think I was missing a number of them. The Light and Darkness War, Tom Veitch and Cam Kennedy. And it looks like it's issue 1 to 6 for $1.99. It's pretty awesome. And excitingly, a Palookaville that I don't have. We were talking about it in the comments section of a video. And yeah, it's just not something that I come across a lot of. I do have a number of them, but I don't have this one. This is number 17, Palookaville, yet another continuation of Clyde fans. And this, of course, is the artist Seth, who I love. Jonah Jello just did a video on Seth. I think it was the Clyde fans oversized book I think he was talking about, to be honest. The Time Jump War from Apple Comics. Chuck Dixon and Enrique Villagran. Looks pretty great. And finally, it says 1 of 8, so I'm assuming that this is all 8. Yeah, 8 parts. And it's called Scarab, and this is from Vertigo from November 1993. John Smith, Scott Eaton, and Mike Barreiro. Barreiro. I have no clue. I'm really sorry. I'm usually so perfect with people's names. So there's the 8-part series. That's amazing. I'm really thankful for that stuff. The first ones I'm going to be reading are these Paradox for sure. I'm right in the mood for some Brendan McCarthy. So thank you very much, Johnny. I appreciate it. Jay-Z, it's much appreciated. You didn't have to, but I sure as hell am glad that you did. And like I said, I'm hoping that this whole trip works itself out and that we can go digging together. I think that would be great. And then finally, I'm a little nervous about it. So I've been just kind of browsing lately, just kind of looking at eBay things, as far as like underground comics and that sort of thing. Just looking, just because I always do I have on occasion. I've never bought comics on eBay ever, but I couldn't pass this particular item up. It looks like it's going to be very cool, but as usual, I've heard just so many horror stories about buying stuff on eBay, especially comic-related things, so I'm a little nervous about it. It feels fairly stiff. It feels a little soft down here, but yeah, I'm hoping. So I'm going to pause this right now, crack it open, spin you around, and we'll have a look at this. Okay, well, it turns out that I had nothing to fear. Thank goodness. And it actually is in beautiful shape. So let's have a look, shall we? This is the Apex Treasury of Underground Comics, $4.95. Edited by Don Donahue and Susan Goodrick. So Don Donahue, the founder of Apex, and he was the man responsible for getting Zap #1 published. He sold off some of his possessions to be able to print it and publish it, and then bought a printing press himself, and started publishing other comics and literature for other groups, books and things like that. And this is just, it's actually beautiful. It's 192 pages total. There was a later print. I'm not sure which printing this is. I have to check with my book. It's first or second print though. I think a later print, a third or fourth print, was a flip book, and on the flip side was a Bijou Funnies. So it was kind of half and half, and I think it was well over 200 pages. And then something else interesting inside here from the library of Dr. Charles E. Kelly Jr. And that name isn't ringing any bells. I'll have to do a search on who that is, but that's someone's specific plate on the inside there, which is pretty fantastic. It's in beautiful, beautiful shape. So what this is, as I was reading and when I found out about that other underground, kind of the collection of the covers, I had run across this as well, and this was kind of meant to be an introduction or a graphic novel of sorts, collecting a bunch of Apex novelties, comics, and stories. So there's write-ups on each of the artists. Let's have a look. Copyright 1974. Yeah, it says here first printing, but I'll make sure that that's correct. Thanks in there, a table of contents with an introduction. So we have Robert Crumb, Art Spiegelman, Gilbert Shelton, Justin Green, Willie Murphy, Bill Griffith, Kim Deitch, Spain Rodriguez, Bobby London, Sherry Flanagan, and Jay Lynch. So we have a kind of preface by Don Donahue himself from 1974, an introduction. The pages look beautiful. An interview with Robert Crumb of a few pages there. And then we get into some reprints of Robert Crumb material for quite a while, all the way up to, looks like at least 50 pages or so. And then what happens after is everybody else, I think, gets 1 or 2 pages. So Art Spiegelman, and then kind of gives you a breakdown of where his work has appeared, a little write-up on him, a little drawing of the artist, and then Mouse in this case. Reproduction of that, fantastic. It's a really well taken care of book. It's really fucking exciting. Gilbert Shelton has appeared in Picture of him with a little bit of a write-up. And then some Freak Brothers stuff, which I have all of. Justin Green, Willie Murphy, and Bill Griffith, Zippy the Pinhead fame. I wonder if this reprints. Yeah, that looks like it might be the reprint of Zippy's first appearance, possibly. I was just reading about this the other day. Anyway, Bill Griffith, Kim Deitch. Did I miss Spain? I'm gonna switch hands here, sorry. Oh, there we go. Spain Rodriguez. This guy has, in my kind of revisiting these underground comics, Spain's work has just jumped off the pages at me lately. I'm really loving his work, and I don't own enough myself in the undergrounds that I've had and what I have. I just don't have enough of it. I found some stuff digitally, including a Gothic Blimp Works from 1969, I think, an issue of that, which was kind of a newspaper, comics newspaper type of thing. And he does a cover on that, and I absolutely love the cover. I've seen the Gothic Blimp Works on eBay, but it's so expensive that I don't think that's anything I'm going to be owning anytime soon. But at least in here, I get a taste of some of his stuff, because I'm not super familiar with his work. But I love it. I really like his style quite a bit. I think there's supposed to be a documentary on him coming out. Isn't that what it said in the Underground Price Guide? Oh, look at that. Subvert Comics cover there with Trash Man on the front. That's incredible. So awesome. And then a Trash Man story. Look at that. Hopefully you can see that okay. It's great. Love it. I love his style so much. That's exciting. Bobby London. A name that I'm not familiar with. Dirty Duck. Oh, although that looks really familiar, yeah. And Sherry Flanagan. Yeah, that's right. Trots and Bonnie. Some classic stuff there. Trots and Bonnie. I think she was in Comic Book Confidential, if I'm not mistaken. That amazing documentary. If you haven't seen Comic Book Confidential, see if you can find that. I imagine that most people have. And of course, Jazzy J. Lynch with Nard and Pat. Love Nard and Pat. It's pretty great. He's got a great style too. Some of those stories look familiar. I think I have them in a reproduction. And then, you know, that's that. Wow. That sucker's enormous. That's in beautiful shape. I'm impressed. I'm amazed, especially because the price was relatively cheap. The shipping was much more than the actual book. So that was a really great score. So there we go. A successful breaking of my cherry as far as eBay goes for comics. Beautiful. Love it. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you again, Johnny Zero, Jay-Z, my man. Much appreciated. I'm going to now sit and read some comics while people are having naps. And again, make sure that you check out week 2 of the Stamp Club. Check out that video. Print yourself up a book. Grab some stamps. Join along with us. It's shaping up really amazingly so far. Saturday will be another video about that where I'll go through week 2 and talk a little bit about week 3. We're halfway there, halfway through the month already. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you.